Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Ed Peterson. Welcome again to another edition of Lupus Talks. We have our two dynamic duos, Dr. Calvin William and Miss Dolores Olson. They're going to be sharing with you some great information that they'll be sharing in reference to lupus. And also, again, if you guys want to definitely co-op with us and collaborate with us as well on sharing this information about lupus and what it represents and how we can help people in our communities. You can always go to our website at lupusofnevada.org. You can also go to the YouTube channel at Dr. Calvini Williams, as well as the Facebook page, of course, Lupus of Nevada. So, we want no further ado. I want to give you over to Dr. Calvini Williams. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ed. Okay, this time we're going to be talking. Hello, everyone. I hope all is doing well. I thought it was important because this summer, some of us have a hard time breathing. So we're going to be talking about lupus and respiratory system and those with autoimmune diseases too. I've got an article, Symptoms in Lupus, that was dated May 22nd, 2024 by Dr. Thomas, and it was updated March 22nd, 2025. So it says the respiratory system or the pulmonary system is commonly affected by systemic lupus erythematosus. The system plays a crucial role in exchanging gases, allowing us to absorb life-sustaining oxygen. Each system component contributes to breathing and oxygenation from the nose to the mouth to the lungs, microscopic air sacs that absorb oxygen. The lungs are one of the most commonly affected organs of the body. This article discusses some of the ways that lupus affects the respiratory system. And he said pulmonary problems are so common in SLE that virtually all parents undergoing autopsy show lupus lung involvement. Douglas Thomas, MD, from the Lupus Encyclopedia, a comprehensive guide for patients, health, and providers. So I have problems breathing. I'll tell you with that, the shortness of breath, the chest pains, the coughing, the wheezing, difficulty breathing deeply, and the pleurisy pain that you have when you're breathing. And all of these are important because all of us suffer from that, even in various autoimmune or connective tissue disorders. Dolores, do you have any problems with that, with the shortness of breath and chest pains and wheezing and coughing? Would you like to expound?
No, I don't really have too much on that. Sometimes I just get the dry cough. I've been having that for like many years,
Mm-hmm.
like that, because after COVID, I had like a lot of coughing symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
with the breathing part, it's just time to time. If I got really, really sick, I will go into like
Mm-hmm.
asthma like type,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
get seasonal asthma.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Well, they go on to say that the pleurisy is a lining around the lungs. It consists of two thin layers of smooth, lubricated membranes. One layer envelopes the lungs, the other attaches to the inside of the muscle and the ribs around the lungs. Between these two layers is a light coating, lubricating fluid when the lungs inflate and deflate during breathing. It goes on to say lupus psychosis. That is, pleurisy refers to inflammation of the lung linings. Pleurisy occurs more often in men patients with positive RNP Smith and dsDNA antibodies, and in patients with coexisting Raynaud's. Patients with late onset SLE after 50 years old also have an increased chance of developing pleurisy, and that's me. Similar type of lining exists around the heart called the pericardium, and around the abdomen contents called peritoneum. Per means around and about. The medical term for these linings, pleural, pericardium, and pericardium, is serosa, serosa. SLE can cause inflammation. In the medical term of this, it means inflammation of, and that's so important. They go on to say lupus, the pleurisy symptoms, when chest pain worsens with breathing, the medical term is pluriactive, pluriactive chest pain. It is common in lupus and pericarditis in chapter 1. In addition to periactive chest pain, it can also cause shortness of breath, coughing, and fever. Other problems also can cause pluriactive chest pain. Now I'm going to break this down. Um, I have all of that. You know, I have pleurisy of the chest cavity, and I go and tell the doctor it's pleurisy of the chest cavity, which is inflammation around my lungs, and that hurts. When it's real hot outside, it does something to my breathing, and it's hard for me to breathe. I have a pulmonologist, and all of you who have any connective tissue disorder with these types of problems should get with a pulmonologist or ask your doctor for one. I have an oxygen tank up in my room connected to my wall. So if off and on, I have it on number 2. I can go in there and breathe on that and come back out and be a normal person. Um, it hurts, and yes, it hurts because it feels that somebody's taking your breath and they're catching you. And I'll say catching like they're stopping you from breathing. Um, and it's just something that we have to deal with because tenderness of the chest will suggest the causes. You know, the pleuritis can sometimes cause a rub when we listen to the lungs and heart. So rubbing sound occurs with friction from inflamed pleural layers and pericardium scrap over each other. It's so important that if you have any symptoms concerning your breathing, that you contact your doctor. You let him know, even if it just started. You have to let him know because it becomes a problem, and we don't want those problems happening. And you get out there and just pass out. That's something that you don't want. A lot of people with COPD. I'm jumping to that too. COPD. Um, they let me see. COPD. They talk about. Let me see. Well, COPD is another situation too, and they give me all kinds of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's what COPD is. And it says the types of COPD um, and the patient types. Let's go to the patient types. Patient types, and I'm getting this off the U.S. healthcare professionals, and they talk about when this is your COPD patient, it's time to think. Um, Exacerbations, meaning the breathing of the lungs. On triple inhale therapy, they use those therapy inhalers. All that is important. It says, are your COPD patients at risk of all of these related to hospital visits? And they need to step up and let your doctor know that you can't diagnose yourself with COPD. You can't do that. But you have to let him know if there's something wrong and bring it up to him. Say, you've been researching and you want to know, because I did my doctor that way. Do I have COPD? I have a little bit of it, he said, a little bit of it. But if you don't ask them, they're not going to tell you. And you have to ask them because they're not just going to come out and say, oh, well, you have COPD or you have this, you have that. It's no. You got to ask them. You got to be out there. You got to pull things from a hat. If you don't ask your doctor certain things, what's going on with you, he really is not going to know what to treat you for, because when you go in there and you say the wrong move, everything is okay. Dolores, they'll go in there and say everything is okay. When you say that, the doctor feels everything's okay and you have no problems. Is that not correct?
Yep, that's correct.
And you got to go in there and say, wait. I have good days and I have bad days. And today, doctor, is a bad day. And you tell him A, B with your journal, A, B, C, D, E. This is the bad days. These are the problems I'm having. My breathing problems, my shortness of breath. Um, it just feels that things are tightening up on me, and I like to know what I need to do. I went to my pulmonologist. I'm waiting on the little lupus. It's a little box. It's a little oxygen box, and I haven't got it yet. So that's their fault. So you have to let them know all of that. And I know with the elders, Dolores, I know the elderly have problems breathing too as well. Have you been around some elderly people that have had lung problems or breathing? Have you been around that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Time to time, with family. My mom, she has asthma, so she gets shortness of breath.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. So yeah. So time to time, that happens to her.
Mm-hmm.
So she has her good days and she has her bad days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they go on to say lupus itself does not directly cause bad breath, but it can contribute indirectly through oral to ulcers, dry mouth, kidney issues, and infections. They said ulcers and mouth sores. Many people with lupus develop painful oral or nasal ulcers, which can harbor bacteria and contribute to bad breath. These ulcers are common symptoms of systemic lupus and may flare during disease activity. Those are things we have to be aware of. When people say, ask me, why am I out of breath? You go in your doctor's office and say, why am I out of breath? Doctor, can lupus cause shortness of breath? You know, um, give me some information on it. And it says lupus can cause shortness of breath through at least a dozen different mechanisms, ranging from inflammation in the lining around your lungs to direct damage to the heart. And when it gets that inflammation of the chest cavity, that's close to my heart. And I have issues with that because the lung and chest involvement affects anywhere from 20 to 90% of people with systemic lupus. Over the course of the disease, making breathlessness one of the most common lupus symptoms. The cause isn't always obvious because lupus can target your lungs, your heart, your blood vessels, and your diaphragm, sometimes at the same time. So that's that that's so important, you guys. I know. Have you, my cousin, the one that just passed away, your sister? Does she have any breathing problems?
Yeah, she did. Towards the last, she started having breathing problems.
Okay, and they put her on oxygen.
She just had regular. It was just regular because it was regular, just
Mm-hmm.
regular problems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that, so they had an action take for her just in case if she needed it,
Mm-hmm.
like that. But she just had that because that's part of what cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the chest pains and that. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
don't really do too much, but
Mm-hmm.
they do supply it for you just in case of if they need it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking that she had those problems. They go on to say lupus doesn't stop at the lungs. Cardiac involvement is diagnosed in nearly 50% of lupus patients. That's why they want me to see a heart doctor. But have they called me? No, they have not. And the heart is a major but often overlooked source of breathlessness. Pericarditis, inflammation of the sac surrounding the heart, is the most common cardiac manifestation, occurring in 30 to 50% of patients over the course of the disease. When fluid accumulates around the heart, it can fill or pump efficiently, and you feel winded up even in rest. In more serious cases, lupus inflames the heart muscle, and that's myocarditis, weakening its ability to pump blood. This can progress to heart failure with symptoms like worsened breathlessness, fatigue, swelling, and legs and palpitations. And that's so important because I think about that all the time. When my chest starts hurting, I go take the baby aspirin and I sit down somewhere and just rest. I don't try to do things that are so tough for me in the house. Like say if I want to clean this, clean that, I have to have certain times to do it. And that's what I want to let people know. When you go out in the sun, make sure you're covered up. I think we talked about that before, Dolores. Make sure they're covered up, have a hat. Uh, they don't need gloves, but they need a long sleeve. What else do they need to be wearing?
One of
Um,
the sun visors, those
yeah.
sun visors, that's really good to have. And they have these newer hat too that has little water things in it, so it sprays you a little bit
Oh,
with a hat. Yeah.
oh, well, that's good. Well, them out there with the clothing, clothing is very important. I know when I first was diagnosed with lupus, I had to where I went to it was an Indian shop, like in India, but it was here in California. And they gave me the clothing they wear in 120, 130 degrees, and it blocks the sun off. And that's what I had to wear because if you don't do that, you're liable to get hives, all red spots all up. They liable to be itching, and you have to get some lotion or go to your dermatologist and try to get that lotion. Don't scratch them, because once you start scratching, they spread, and they keep spreading and they keep spreading. So you have to watch what you do with that. But when you go outside, make sure you are equipped with everything: your water, um, your little bag, water, your hat, like she said, sun visor, um, long pants, some jeans or some leggings, make sure you keep your feet out of the sun. I know that's hard to do. I know it is. If you have to wear some light socks, because they do have light summer socks, that you can wear with your tennis shoes, and they're not sweaty, because the sun will hit your feet as well, and hives will end up on that as well. So make sure that when you're out there, if they want to go outside and eat, that you're not directly in the sun. Um, and if it's really hot and the heat is hot on you, don't forget the heat can hurt you as well. You don't necessarily have to be out in the sun. If that heat is so strong, it's so not dense, but it's so hot, it can give you hives too. Because I had my long leggings on, and I have hives on the inside of my legs, and I didn't have my legs were covered, and I still have those hives. So that's what I have to talk to my lupus doctor about on Thursday. What is this? So he's going to tell me to go to did you go to the dermatologist? Did you get the cream? But I want to know, how do you prevent it? That's what I want to know from him. And I don't know if I'm going to get that answer or not, Dolores. So that's where I'm at. You want to talk about the eating situation in the summertime when they're out and about eating light?
Yeah, it's good to have some fresh fruit, like some watermelon, because that's like water, and
Yeah.
that help to cool you down and that. So have you some good healthy treats that's healthy for you. Some fruit. The fruit is the best because some vegetables, now they say that you have to really cook them really good, the raw ones.
Yeah.
So the fruits are okay. The ones that you peel back, and that because the other ones you're gonna have to soak it, to get the things
Mm-hmm.
off with
Mm-hmm.
baking soda and vinegar. And so the best thing, if you didn't pack, this is if you didn't pack it. If you packed it for home, you already cleaned it, then that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Mm-hmm.
you're on the go, you need to grab something, watermelon, grapes,
That sounds good.
cantaloupe. So all kinds of melons, because that cools you down, Because I know when I ate that around summertime when it was hot, it can seem to cool me down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Mm-hmm.
nice and cold, when they put it in the refrigerator.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it's getting cold, and so it's really, really good. So it kind of cools you down. But if you
Mm-hmm.
just need, even if our body, they said that we shouldn't really have things too cold for our body
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it can put us at a risk of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you really need something cold, you can have a little lightly cold in that because that's the best to kind of keep it down and drink the alkaline water, and the alkaline water, the 99.99 is
Mm-hmm.
good
Mm-hmm.
because that one will have an electrolytes in it, and that'll keep you from
Mm-hmm.
when you're feeling dehydrated and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It'll keep down your temperature. But you may have to put a little ice with that if you
Mm-hmm.
just getting it off the shelf if it's not cold in the refrigerators.
Mm-hmm. I used to bring a cup of ice with me. It was actually in my water jug. It was crushed ice. And when my mouth got dry, I felt I needed something, I would always have that ice there to help me. Is that something that is a good thing to do? Because I hear you talking about not too cold. Is that ice situation in my jug. Is that okay?
Well, the crushed ice is okay because you need something to when it's dry. But I'm just talking about when it's extreme cold, cold, cold. Too many people put too much ice in there. They may
Right.
fill up all it up to their. They probably have a 29 ounce and put a whole bunch of ice in it. That's way too cold for the body.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know. So you just put a little bit, just a little
Okay.
bit at a time. Don't use like a whole thing because our bodies is natural, That's why I said you have to get used to the room temperature. But if
Yes.
you
Yes.
really, if you really need it, your body needs it, then that's different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take a little bit of cold water, just a little bit of
Okay.
ice in that cold.
They go on to
But
say
that's
that
okay. What you're doing?
okay. Okay. They go on to say a pulmonary embolism causes sudden sharp breathlessness, often the chest pain and a racing heart. It requires immediate medical attention. When you're talking about blood clots and pulmonary hypertension, repeated small clots or chronic inflammation in the blood vessels of the lungs can lead to pulmonary arterial hypertension, a condition where the blood pressure in the arteries feeding the lungs becomes dangerously high. They say symptoms build gradually, first breathlessness only with exertion. That's why in the summertime, don't exert yourself. You know, if they move in a picnic table, don't you go move it. Let them let them, dear Lord, let them move it. If they
Oh
see you,
yes,
if
yes.
they see you standing up there, and the first thing cousin's gonna say, you ain't done nothing. Well, no, I'm not gonna. I had one of them tell me that. I said, I'm not gonna do anything anyway because I have lupus. Well, what is lupus? I said, and I go on to tell him what lupus is, why he's holding the table. He said, can we talk about this later because I'm holding part of this table. But yeah, they don't understand. I know they don't understand. They have no idea. They don't understand. Well, can you at least put the napkins on the table, paper towels on the table? Yeah, I can do that if you move the table in the shade because you moved it in the sun. So would you move the table again? And they got highly upset. They were upset. you know, because they didn't understand. They didn't understand, but they go on to say, repeated small clots or chronic inflammation in the blood vessels or lungs can cause a pulmonary, hypertension, a condition with the blood pressure and arteries feeding the lungs becomes dangerously high. Symptoms build gradually. They said this is one of the most serious lupus complications with 5-year survival rates between 68 to 84%, which is why early detection matters so much. If you notice your exercise tolerance declining steadily over weeks or months, you need to see your heart doctor. You need to see a cardiologist, and they'll give you a cardiologist because I have one. They just haven't called me. But I'm not having any of those problems because I know when to back off. I know what I can and can't do. Even if I lift something that's heavy, like I can't lift more than 5 pounds. I can't, because it attacks my system. My chest starts hurting. I have to go lay down. It's just, I know you have to know you, and that's what I'm telling people out there for the summer, for the winter, whatever. Know who you are and what you can do, and you'll be better off. You know, and I know you know that because you tell that all the time. In service, know who you are and what you can do because you're the only one that can tell the doctor that these problems are happening. Like when we get back to the food, the watermelon. I love watermelon, love it, and I'll eat a whole watermelon in no time. I'll eat a half of one and take. I'll take half of it when they bring a watermelon in here. I said, don't nobody want watermelon. Don't nobody want watermelon. My son better know when he comes to visit. You bring a watermelon in here, I'm taking half of it. That's that's the
I
deal.
wouldn't blame you.
I take half of it. Y'all can have the other half. And that's just being greedy. No, it's not being greedy. It's being real. Because I need that water. I need all of that. Matter of fact, when we get off of here, I'm going to see if my brother can get me a watermelon. I just, go to the store and sit in the shade in the car with the air conditioner on and let him go get a watermelon. I hope he picks a good one. So that's one of the things. And what about the juices? They shouldn't be. sucking up sweet juices like Kool-Aid and all of that, do they need to monitor the sugar intake?
Oh yes, yes. The breast juice out there is called it's a pressed juice. Now that pressed juice that's really really good. It's a little bit more pricey, by case, but um otherwise, it depends where you get it. It's like $4 or something a bottle, and you get enough of your fruits and vegetables and that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's accurate right there. Because I googled that and they said it was good. So it's a pressed juice. So the
Mm-hmm.
pressed juice is that's the real stuff. Just make sure it's 100%. If it's not 100%, you're not getting the juice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're getting a
Well,
lot of sugar.
and well, they do see apple juice in there, and they see a bunch of juices in the juice aisle. They should actually read the back of the ingredients and what is the limit that you can have. Is it 5%? If it's 5 or 12%, say you want that apple juice, but it's like 7%. What is the least to the high that you can have, that you can buy that juice? You know what I'm saying?
You gotta have 100% because even 7% of that's nothing.
No.
What
Okay.
else? Yeah, it
Now
has
let
to
me
be
go back.
100%.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I wanted to say, okay, far as the fat intake, if it's 5%, and you're watching your weight too, can you? Is the 5% to 7% intake with the sugar that you can have in that juice? You know, if it's 20% of sugar, you shouldn't touch that juice. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's a little bit too much. That's a little bit
Okay.
too much sugar. If it's at least five or below, or even if it's 8 grams, 5 grams,
Mm-hmm.
four
Mm-hmm.
grams, two. If it's zero, then better.
What
You
about these
know,
sugary waters that they're selling, mineral waters and stuff? Is that good for us as well?
uh-uh.
Okay.
We should not be touching that.
Okay.
And that it's good to just have plain good old fashioned water. You could add your own fruit juice from fruit, squeeze the orange in it. They have these little dispenser thing, those little things that you put in there, little filter
Mm-hmm.
things, and you could put fruit in it, and you
Mm-hmm.
put it into your water, into your water bottle,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you shake it up, and you just let it sit and that so you're getting your natural. So it's best to get it natural from your fruits than to some of them they have artificial flavors. Now that's not good.
I have sat back and watched some of our lupus people drink a lot of energy drinks, and I let them know that's wrong. That damages the heart. Do you have anything to say about that? They love energy drinks. It peps them up. It keeps them going. That isn't that a no-no? Because I was told that is totally wrong. The energy drinks. What do you say about that? You know, the energy drinks that people get, like Monster energy drinks. Um, what is your opinion about that? Should they be drinking the Monster drinks, the drinks that pep up their heart, you know, at a high rate so they can have the energy to do what they need to do? You know, I was told that that is that's wrong. You know, that you shouldn't be. No one should be using that because it can bring you back into a major heart attack. Oh, I think she got off or something accidentally. Well, that's why I didn't get a sound bite from her. Okay, she's off for a minute. Well, anyway, watch your sugar intake. Watch the energy drinks, and talk to your doctor about it because the energy drinks are. A lot of people are drinking them, and it's not what they should be drinking. You know, I'm going to say what I shouldn't be drinking. If you want to drink it, talk to your doctor about it because this whole segment here is education, awareness, and advocacy. And we don't tell people what to do. We just give them the information on what we feel is right for our bodies. And maybe they can take that little bit of information that we give out here and use it for their benefit or take it to their doctors and say, these are the questions I'd like to ask you. And I don't think Dolores is going to come back on, and it's 2:30 now. Are you there? No one's there but me. Okay, everybody's got pictures on but me. I hope if you have any questions, please let us know. Send us some questions. Send us some materials that we can interview people. Give us some names of people that would like to be on to talk about different things dealing with lupus, dealing with autoimmune diseases. We appreciate that. We read every one of your emails. So please send us that, and please tell people to subscribe, to follow us, because that's the only way we're going to get the information out there, and that's so important because we need to get it out there. And you help us, and we help you, and you help us, because we don't know everything about this disease. I know I have it. I've had it for 27 years. Certain things happen to me, and complications happen. And it's just like example, my weight fluctuates up and down. Well, that's what I'm going to tell my doctor when I see him. They seem to think we're eating a lot of junk. I'm sitting up here with lemon water, and that's not eating junk. So it could be a variation of a lot of water fluids that I'm holding in my system. So those are the things that we need to talk to our doctors about. When they say it's the food you're eating, you tell them it might be the fluid in my body. Ed, are you still there, or is anyone there? Okay. I wish you guys would give me some
Yeah, I'm
answers.
here.
Okay. Dolores, she got off. Oh, there she's back on. Okay, so we're
Yeah,
at
she
the
wants to
end.
stop.
Yeah, I got knocked off.
She got knocked off.
Yeah.
Now, I was telling them that make sure they talk to their doctors, make sure that the information, if they have any people that you want us to interview, please give us that. And please follow us, because you help us make this show better. And we will read every and all comments that you send in. Ed will read them. Edward?
That is correct. So as we continue, thank you, Dr. Williams and Mr. Lewis Olson, for sharing for this episode. And we continue our growth series as we continue the month of July. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can always go to the website at lupusofnevada.org. You can always check it out, fill out the information, any questions or inquiries you may have in reference to that. But take copious notes every time we on here. And again, you can go to the YouTube channel at YouTube, Dr. Calvinia Williams. I got it listed under that now. And then also the Facebook page, of course, is going to be Lupus of Nevada. And we're continuing to give you guys information that's going to be beneficial to your health and to your growth. And so, any last words, Dr. Williams?
Just be healthy this summer. Try to do the health thing. Try to watch what you eat and what you drink, and and your mind. Focus on things that you want to do, and just be happy.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Lewis?
And just make sure, please, that you read all your labels, and that make sure that so you'll see how much sugar is in the product, and that, because one thing we want to be healthy.
Yes, always want to be healthy. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for this opportunity to share this episode. Until next time, you guys have a great day, great evening, and great afternoon. And we'll talk to you later. See you guys again. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.